Hi, 8th grade. Today we're going to be working on reviewing plotting coordinates, which will help you with your lesson today. In the notes section of your packet, I just want you guys to take some notes on how to plot coordinates. So whenever we plot coordinates, we're plotting them on a coordinate grid. So just draw a sample of a coordinate grid. With our coordinate grid, we have two axes. We have one that goes up and down, and then one that goes side to side. What's the axis that goes up and down? This is your y-axis. And then what's your axis that goes side to side? This is your x-axis. When you plot points on this coordinate grid, you have two coordinates. You have an x-coordinate and you have a y-coordinate. So your first value is going to tell you where the point is vertically on your x-axis, and the second value will tell you where your point is on your y-axis. Then looking at this coordinate grid, we also go from negative, so this is the negative x, to the positive x. And the same thing for your y-axis. The bottom is the negative and the top is your positive. So you're going from the negatives to the positives. Let's try practicing some points. Alright, so on your worksheet, copy down these set of points, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. First we have point A. Our point is 4 and 3. I'm going to label my axes. So my horizontal axis is my x-axis, and my vertical axis is my y-axis. And when I plot these points, my first coordinate tells me where it is on my x-axis, my second coordinate tells me where it is on my y-axis. So my first coordinate has an x-coordinate of 4. So if I go to 4 on my x-axis, that's right there. And then it has a y-coordinate of 3. Then I plot my point where these two lines meet, because it has to be at 4 on the x-axis and 3 on the y-axis. And then I have to make sure that I am labeling my point A. Now I'm going to plot my point B, which is at 5 on the x-axis and 7 on the y-axis. And then figure out where to plot my point. Where will these two lines meet? At point B. For line C, my x-coordinate is negative 2. That means I need to go to the left and see where I find negative 2 on my x-axis. Then my y-coordinate is 3. So I'm going to go up to positive 3. And where those two lines meet is going to be my point C. Try D on your own. If you had plotted D correctly, it would be at 6 and negative 2 on the y-axis. Try E on your own. If you plotted D correctly, it would be negative 5 on the x-axis, negative 3 on the y-axis. Try doing F. This one's a little bit trickier, because where is 0 on the x-axis? 0 on the x-axis is just right in the middle. So I need to go 4 on the y-axis. And my point will just be on my axis. So F will be at number 4 on my y-axis. Try G. G is the same thing, except it's 0 on your y-axis, so it will end up on your x-axis. G will be right there. Now we're working backwards. We're trying to identify where the coordinates lie on, where the points lie on the coordinate plane. So for point A, we're at 0 on the x-axis and 4 on the y-axis. So my x-coordinate is 0 and my y-coordinate is 4. Looking at point B right here, it's not up or down, so to get there I only need to go across, so I will only have an x value. It'll be negative 6, and my y value will be 0. Looking at C, I need to see where C falls on the x-axis and where C falls on the y-axis. I find that it falls at negative 4 and negative 4. For point D, I'm going to do the same thing. Where does it fall on the x-axis? Where does it fall on the y-axis? Negative 2 and positive 6. Finish up E and F independently. Just quickly to review drawing slope. Slope is our rise over our run. And when we draw the slope, we can pick any point because there's no point given to us to start. We have a rise of 1, so we're going to rise 1 and run 3. Last step is to graph my line. In the line that I just graphed, is my slope positive or negative? If I'm starting at the left and moving to the right, I'm going uphill, so my slope is positive, so I drew this correctly. The second one's a little trickier because we have a negative slope. This just means that instead of going up 2, we're going to go down 2, and then we'll go to the right 3. And my line will look like this. Checking, is this a negative slope? Yes, it is. Go ahead and finish up the rest of the first 2 pages of your packet independently.